Hey now, what is up everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka ReviewKingMB, and we are on day 3 of my 31 days of horror movie reviews. And I'm still doing the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, but this time we are on quite possibly, no, most definitely, the second best in the franchise. I'm talking about A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, The Dream Warriors. Yes, this is a 1987 film in which Wes Craven has come back as a producer and I think a co-writer of the movie. He's not directing it though. Directing it is Chuck Russell. And the plot is we meet a brand new character, Kristen, played by Patricia Arquette. She and a bunch of other teenagers are in this hospital. They're all on suicide watch because they're all having the same dreams, the same nightmares about the same guy, Freddy Krueger. These doctors don't really believe them or don't take their concerns seriously. They're doing the traditional procedural stuff until Nancy Thompson comes back. Heather Langenkamp, she is wanting to help these kids. She wants to save the last remaining kids of Elm Street, and she's doing everything that she can to fight off Freddy, who is now more powerful than ever. Now, what I think of the Dream Warriors is, like I said, it's the second best of the series. It really, when you look at this movie, and even though I can watch the second film, this is what really explores the lore of not only Freddy Krueger. You get some of his backstory, but you get the kids who at this point they have their own dream powers, and I love that. You give them something to fight Freddy with, or to at least feel confident about themselves with. The idea, you're just expanding the idea on, okay, sure, yeah, Freddy can control a lot of the dreams, and he can put you in scenarios and places that are scary, but you can fight back. They're your dreams. I love that. It's a good message. I love seeing all these kids band together and all relate on this. We meet so many of these kids, like Kristen, like I said, Patricia Arquette, I think is great. Very sympathetic character, but you do believe her when she does fight back. I love her power of being able to pull people into her own dreams. Great effect of when Nancy falls back into the chair and boom, is right in there. Nancy, I guess I should mention, Heather Langenkamp coming back, very needed, much needed to bring back a character like her. Not just because she at this point is the only person to have survived Freddy, but I just love the idea that now she's a little older. Now she wants to help and give back to these kids. She's taking this experimental drug called Hypnosil, which fascinates me. For years, I thought this might be a real drug to suppress your dream. Her relationship with her father, John Saxton, is sad but very realistic. He's a drunk now. There's this doctor who is a big part of this movie. I almost forget until I rewatch it. Like, he's kind of the main character, more so than even Nancy, if you can believe it. Dr. Neil Gordon, who I swear he has the hots for Nancy, which there's an age difference, so that's a little weird, but, you know, because you see him take her out to dinner, or they're at this campfire place eating dinner. I'm like, okay, this is a little... Thankfully, you never see them kiss, or it doesn't go too far. Kincaid, one of my favorite characters in this film. He's so outspoken. He's so just, he's going to tell it like it is. He does not care. So many times where he cusses out the head nurse, especially, and she's a bitch, so I don't blame him. Joey is this kid that doesn't talk. He's a mute. There's even one scene where he has a teardrop drawn onto his face, which I thought meant that you killed somebody. Maybe he did. Maybe Joey has a really dark backstory that we don't know about. Billy is this kid who's in a wheelchair, and I almost forgot that he jumped off of a high area and he injured himself, paralyzed himself. I'm like, holy crap, rewatching him, I'm like, that's really dark. Poor guy, he thought he was Harry Potter in his dream. Freddy is very creative with his kills here. Some of the most memorable kills of the series, like Philip being strung along by his veins like a puppet by Freddy, just him in the hallway, and like seeing, oh, it looks like he's sleepwalking, but then in his version of things. He is literally like the practical effects on these veins coming out of his wrists and his legs look so disturbing, but so cool to see. It's fucked up, but I love it. And the girl Jennifer, who all she wants is to be on television. It's her big dream. So Freddy helps her along. I love the fact that she's watching Johnny Carson on TV and he's interviewing Zsa Zsa Gabor, and Freddy all of a sudden shows up and who gives a fuck what you think, and attacks her. I love that. I kind of wanted to see him just go for it and just take her out. But then his head comes out of the TV. Welcome to prime time, bitch. Just a classic, just moment that we all remember and talk about. Freddy is definitely, he's still scary, he's still menacing, and he's still very creepy. Has that sense of humor that I think made him more appealing to mainstream audiences, that made him want to get out there and have people use him for advertising. It's crazy because he's a child murderer, but yet he became a big sensation after this. And him shoving Jennifer's head into the TV, great moment. I should mention Lawrence Fishburne, very young Lawrence Fishburne. In fact, he's credited as Larry Fishburne, and I like him. He's one of the doctors, or one of the attendants at this hospital, but he's a cool guy. There's a few scenes where the kids try to relate to him or try to beg him for help, and he will help them out. He'll give them some extra time, or he'll let them do some stuff that none of the other, especially that one guy who's really creepy and puts the moves onto one of the girls there, Taryn, her dream power with the mohawk and I always wish that she didn't die. Her death, her past with the drugs, and how Freddy, very memorable. Let's get high. What a rush. Jams the needles into her open sores on her arms. Just gross. And it gives me the heebie-jeebies thinking about it. But this film is filled with so many great moments, so many great just ideas. The backstory, hearing the nun who's talking about Freddy's mom and how she was locked in that prison with the 100 inmates that raped her for days. Come to find out that it was that nun. But the nun has been dead, so she was a ghost communicating with the doctor. That was all kind of creepy too. You have the bones of Freddy coming to life and stopping them from trying to bury him with the holy water. But this movie, like I said, great sequel. It's almost perfect. The only hindrance, and it's a big hindrance, in fact, if it didn't happen in the last 5 minutes, I might hate the film. Who knows? But the fact that they kill Nancy is almost unforgivable. It's almost enough to make me say, fuck you. I know Wes Craven was not happy when that decision was made without his involvement. It's just, it doesn't make sense too when you watch this. She's such a inspirational character for the other kids. She's such a role model, an example of somebody that can survive, and you just kill her off, and I don't get it. Especially because it's so late in the movie. The film ends pretty much right after that, and it sucks. It sucks oh so much. Imagine how much better some of these next few sequels would have been if Nancy was involved. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below. What do you think of A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3? Do you like it as much as I do? Is it your second favorite or your number one favorite? I know for some people it is. What do you think of Nancy's death? Does it almost ruin the movie? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!